I can't strum it because it sounds bad on this microphone, but I just couldn't resist. Talking about black people, whoa, black skinned people everywhere, everywhere, black people, ooh, black people, black people everywhere. Everywhere I see some black people, and it's black people, oh, black skinned people, everywhere, everywhere, black people. Oh, it is what it is. Do, do, do. All right, guys. No racism in the chat, please. That's one of our rules. But tell me how you guys really feel. See here. Yes, so the Carmelo Anthony verdict came down, and black people everywhere are up in arms. And it's so crazy. And I know black people have a crazy history of, they were slaves at one point, all that other stuff. But at a certain point, you can't just, because a white person would never in a million years think, oh, that person's innocent just because they're white. No, we have a concept. We know that, especially Christians, we know that every skin color does bad things. They just do. That's human nature. And no one race is any more likely to do something bad than another. Obviously, environment that you grow up and your relationship with your parents and all those little things factor in a major way. Crime rate area in your city and like your propensity to go off the wrong path. But I don't know. Make sure this thing's worth it. But yeah, so it's like the O.J. Simpson thing. Nobody thought he would ever get off, regardless of what side you were on. But when he was declared not guilty, and black people even said it, this is not my words, even they said it was a victory for the black race and not just for one individual. And that's really weird. So, and I know that racism does play into a thing, and they're like, the black people are always studying, how many black people are on the actual jury, and that totally can influence things. I kind of understand that. But why would you do a backflip when a murderer gets off, regardless of skin color? That makes you look terrible. And then it came out that he absolutely did it times 1,000. He wrote the book, If I Did It, This Is How It's Done. And it was basically a full confession because he was protected under the double jeopardy laws. So that even if they found extra evidence later on, he couldn't be tried twice for the same exact crime. Now, later on, when he broke into the hotel to recover some of his own stuff back, then the judge really socked it to him. And he got multiple years in jail for that. But it's crazy. He was the craziest narcissist everywhere. And he would just gaslight the cops, but they were all huge football fans. There's nothing wrong with that. But they let him get away with everything. And it was well documented that at the very least, he was beating the heck out of his poor wife. And she wrote in her journal, if I end up dead, it was definitely OJ, And again, that's circumstantial evidence. But the new DNA evidence that was brand new at the time, people didn't know. They did try not to put too much trust in it. And now we know just how incredibly accurate it could be. But in this Karmelo case, it's so stupid. And now in Texas, it's not illegal to walk around with a knife on you. I didn't know that. So they had to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that it was or was not in self defense. Meanwhile, the white kid just tapped him lightly on the shoulder, and his immediate impulse was to pull out a knife and just end his life. Like, that's so stupid. Why would your mind be that violent, regardless of the discrepancy or the fight you were getting into, or whatever you thought of the guy you were mad at? It just doesn't make any sense logically, And a lot of black people will not submit themselves to nuanced thinking. They just think in this tiny little box, and they're so stubborn. But I think maybe what they think is, oh, it's good. We got to stick by our guns. Because a lot of people on here, especially, they'll use loyalty as a weapon, or they'll use it as just a be all end all cover all for all their sins. And like they'll say, oh, sure, I'm a drug addled prostitute doing every nefarious deed in the book, but at least I'm loyal. And they start patting themselves on the back. It's like, no, it doesn't work that way. You don't you don't round up on. And sometimes loyalty can be a bad thing. There could be such a thing as blind loyalty. You're loyal to the wrong people just because you're desperate for friends. That's not a win. So it's just something to think about. But yeah, they said, oh, they're going to riot after this verdict. Why? I mean, it's a pretty cut and dry case to me. I haven't followed all the elements, but the defense was just ripped to shreds during that final day before the verdict. And it's just crazy. Like, I don't know. But on the other hand, he is just a kid. So there's a whole argument for the neuroplasticity is not quite sunken in and dried yet. But he, you know, teenagers do impulsive things that they regret. But it seems like he was a very violent individual. And they set up a GoFundMe. The family got tens of thousands of dollars for their defense. And I hear they blew it on some house or something, which is so crazy. So they got a new house out of the deal, at least. It's so weird. People send him money just because he was black, and just because his mom and dad seemed like they were semi decent people or whatever. That's so stupid. Like, a white person could never get donations if they stabbed somebody. It would be the furthest thing from everybody's mind in the world. You know what I mean? So just something to think about. Racism works both ways. Most black people I've met have been 1,000 times more racist than any white person I've ever met. And they're just seething with bitterness and hatred. Meanwhile, they were never physically slaves, literally. Their great, great, great ancestors may have been. But they just take it to too far extremes. Hey, sweetie, you too. We're talking about Carmelo Anthony verdict. But, yeah, it's crazy. If black people start looting stores and rioting in the streets, like with the Rodney King and the OJ thing, well, Rodney King was a little different, but because up until then, there was like this very blind sort of trust in police officers to at least be professional at all times. When that was revealed, people were like, whoa, we didn't know this was going on behind the scenes. And then black people are like, you see, this is what we've been trying to tell you whiteys for a long time. I'm like, yeah, yeah. But it was very eye opening to see that. But this is just a crazy thing. And I wish race didn't play any role in the evaluation of people. Um, you know. But if it was just a white kid that stabbed another white kid, people wouldn't be so passionate one way or the other on either side. So that's very just kind of sad and weird, to bring race into the equation unnecessarily. It's hard to hear me. What? What are you talking about? I can't figure this out at all. I'm just gonna give up. If you guys aren't hearing what I'm hearing, that's weird. Because I'll test my sound before and I'll go to my thing and it sounds loud to me. Black, blind people. Please be professional. I can mumble though. See. Like, whoa, we didn't know this was going on behind the scenes. Be so passionate one way or the other on either side. So that's very, it's kind of sad and weird thing, and it sounds loud to me. Is that better? So yeah, what do you guys think? Questions, comments, critiques? I'm out of here in about 3 minutes. These are not my long form streams. These are my experimental topics to see if we can get an intelligent discussion going on. But yeah, do you guys think there'll be riots and shenanigans after this? Oh, okay. I can't stop moving and grooving. Even when I'm doing my songs, I'm falling off my stool or I'm falling over backwards. That's why I had to get two mics, so there's some semblance of being reined in a little bit. But man, oh man, I got to remember this volume setting. It's at like 70%. Oh man. So yeah, I had to move. My surgery date because today was the worst allergy day ever. Even though I took my immunization cumulative thing the other day. So it's like it's just seeping in through the walls. I can't even get any fresh air. I can't crack a window because it kills me, and it does all the stuff my humidifier and air purifier are trying to do. But what about an ionizer? Have you guys had any luck with those? I don't even know what it does, but I'm open to anything at this point. Maybe I'll rent a super expensive smart purifier I can't afford. But yeah, this is just frustrating. But they're not going to charge me a missed appointment fee. That's pretty good. So it's not for July. So I could smoke again, but I haven't today yet. So I'm kind of on edge. I hate it though. Whenever I have to adjust my base level medication, it changes the flow of how much dialogue's on the tip of my tongue. So it's almost like it makes me a different person or changes the personality and abilities. I thought it's only supposed to do one or the other. So when I get that double whammy, I'm like, oh. But then when I'm buzzed, I'm more loose socially. I'm better with music and I'm better with working out. Like it colors in that part of the brain at the expense of the other half. So I don't know what to do. I just want to be well rounded like everybody else. All this trial and error stuff, it's making everything seem like it's piling up, even though it's not. Oh, that's weird. I don't have any problems with my skin though. It starts with this crazy hacking cough, and then it's all systems go. It starts sprinkling out of me, but I start choking on it like the dust. I didn't know coughing was like an allergy symptom, so I went to the doctor for other things, and I had a bunch of blood work done. He's like, "You idiot." Back to the drawing board. But yeah. So tomorrow I'll have my vocal effects reverb thing, and we'll get back to the music. I can't wait to show you guys what I've been working on. It's so exciting to me. That's about it. I don't have much to say on this topic, unless I had a video presentation lined up, but I don't know. What do you guys think? But I have to challenge my OG subscribers with new topics all the time. But I'm refining myself in a general and specific sense. Ooh, my friend's live. I want to troll her. Oh wow. Oh, I'm sorry your life's hard, honey. I'm reading your community posts. You guys got a bunch of snow. I can't stand snow because I have to walk to the grocery store. One time I just flipped on the black ice and I had 2 bags of groceries tucked under my arms. I just landed flat on my back and everything went everywhere. I was like, what? Oh, you're very beautiful. I like your tattoos also. That's hot. But yeah, you're very vivacious. Vivacious. That cute little buns of yours and those bikinis. Wow. Oh, really? That is strange because it sounded super normal to me. What a weird thing. Sometimes I'll crank up my main volume and then see that the volume on the YouTube video is low. There's two separate thingies. But yeah, what do you guys want to see me cover this week? Send me your suggestions. The shorter, the better. No politics or sports. 3 to 5 minute under, and I can react to the video. I'm gonna plug in my interface to my iPhone and do some shorts that way. I had no idea you could plug in such a big fancy new piece of equipment, such a little phone, without it like exploding the circuitry or something, but I guess you can. Just your grandma trying my best. Oh, that's cute. Granny got game. I'm telling you, I've always loved older women. They're so, they know what they want. They're so saucy and sexy, and just very tantalizing. Um, but you know, the nug, I'm not calling it nug. It fills in what the stimulant meds take away. Like the stimulants will kill my mojo, but then the weed will bring it back times two sometimes. So I'll just be more not just hornier, but more amorous and social and like, and then it's like that part of my personality just dries up, you know. Oh, that's probably, yeah, earbuds. I'm still confused about spiking into the yellow zone versus the red zone and all that. Like I know the red zone you're supposed to avoid at all costs, but getting different advice on the yellow. Some people say, "Oh, it overmodulates," and others are like, "What?" So when I'm trying to do my drum beat volume separate from my guitar, separate from my voice, trying to coordinate all those different sound levels at once is pretty intense. But I've got to find a preset that I can use every day and just set it up and lock it in. I have lots of refinement to do, but by the end of the week, when you see my brand new topical streams, it'll just be, 5 minutes of relevant information, no droning on. Oh wow, that's pretty intense. I'm trying to get my stepmom to use one of those four-legged walkers, the big ones. She's like, I don't want to look like an old granny hobbling around, but she just took a major tumble and scraped up her face and foot and stuff, and it was crazy. A bunch of stitches, and then she looked like Frankenstein. It had all like the blue and the red veins of blood and all the colors going on. I'm getting old too. It's so strange. Like I thought I would magically get all these abilities to take care of myself, but my disorder is worse than ever. So when I fall pretty hard, and I don't really have a good support system per se. Um, oh wow, that's crazy. The best race, definitely white people. No, just kidding. No, there's no. Everybody deserves to be evaluated as an individual because their background and the individual stuff in their genetics that God gives you that you don't have any say in the matter with. That is concrete and worked out ahead of time. You know, that's not like a thing. But I've had black friends before. They're awesome. One of them stole my wallet. Does that make me an automatic racist? I don't think so. That guy was just bad news in general. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, racism is the stupidest thing in the world. I can't believe like Anthony Cumia is really a racist. I thought he just did that for shock value when he was on Opie and Anthony, because I subscribe to him and I value his opinions on a lot of different things. But then he'll just be like, ah, it's weird, man. You can't let bitterness control you. If you had a bad experience or two in life, like these guys, a lot of the guys in here, they've been rejected by so many women. At a certain point, they just got up and said, screw it. And they took on this horrible attitude that lasts the rest of their lives. It never has to be that way. We can fight it. We can pray to control ourselves and rein in some uniformity and some maturity, you know. Just got up and said, screw it. And they took on this horrible attitude that lasts the rest of their lives. It never has to be that way. Fight it. Pray to control ourselves or rein in some. But I thank you for the feedback, because some people have let me do an entire stream with my mic off and they haven't said anything. I realize if they're trolls, they think it's funny. But I would help anyone else out. At the very least, if their mic wasn't on, I would give them a little poke on the shoulder. You know, we're supposed to be encouraging to people on here. Meanwhile, you guys don't owe me anything. I don't owe you anything, so I have to keep a balanced perspective. We're all going through our hard times, so it's a unique thing in a sense. Oh no, they're melting down on social media. Let's see.
So Karmelo Anthony was found guilty of first-degree murder, and the black community is melting down online. Watch this.
So the verdict is in for Anthony, and they just found him guilty. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not surprised. I knew that there was one.
All right, I'm still gonna go with the topic, but it's the meat of the stream is officially over. This is the ADHD part where I just slowly spill out some dialogue. My brain is freezing up in a major way. Ugh. But you guys can ask me whatever you want. It doesn't have to be.
It's an accidental death. Yeah.
Yeah, so it looks like, was he convicted on manslaughter or murder in the first degree? I think it was just manslaughter. So that could be like you get in a car accident and you accidentally kill the person. That's what, to me, that's what manslaughter is. And it's way different than murder, even though the end result is death in both of those situations. So it's pretty dicey. Weird. What a weird society if allegedly the judge was feeling the pressure of social media and the outcries of stuff. That's all so stupid. Meanwhile, I'm glad there's a little bit of nuance. But black people cannot claim racism in this sense. But it just makes them sound stupid when they're just so darn agreeable. What other scenario and conversation would you not judge them for that? You know what I mean? like I have really bad trouble paying attention. So sometimes I'll get fired up about a topic. After I see a video, I'll make a little comment underneath it. And then people are like, you idiot, did you even watch the video? I'm like, yes, but I don't know. And then what do I say? It's just so humbling. At the same time, my opinions are still better than a lot of people that don't take the extra time to think, or they just have their mind made up in the first place and set in stone, you know. They're just so stubborn, there's no pliability. And by the way, lurkers, I know who you guys are. Nobody has to be afraid to comment in here. In fact, quite the opposite. This is the chillest stream. Nobody will troll you. Nobody will give you a hard time. I do have some basic rules, but I don't think they're too crazy. Too crazy. I will post them in a few minutes. I'm out of here in a few seconds, unless you guys have any other questions, comments, or critiques. Two black people telling the truth. This is the Conservative Twins. That's the name of their channel. They've got some good stuff. Sub it up. Not like they need another sub. They got 2.9 million.
They are going to throw away the rest of this baby's life.
19 is not a child, and nobody's throwing his life away. The white jury is not throwing his life away. Carmelo's actions is what caused him to throw his own life away. Yeah, he threw Arthur Metcalf's life away.
You guys probably can't hear that.
Juries have decided we're going to throw your life away. That's how it works.
For a stupid thing that he did at 18.
Stupid thing. she said, now this child is going to be locked up just for a stupid thing he did. Well, stabbing someone to death is more than just a little stupid. I mean, if he clocked the guy in the chin, that would have still not been in self-defense, because the two exchanges were not equal in proportion. He only put a little hand on his shoulder. Who takes out a knife and just gores somebody? That's crazy. I mean, there's no way he could have thought his life was in danger, not even for a split second. And I hate to say this, but most white people would never cross their minds to bring a gun to a fist fight or to an altercation or to just escalate it, you know. It's like, what's the case? The black guy who a bunch of hoodlums came to the door, like friends and ex-friends, and they just tried to intimidate the guy. Then the guy comes out and they all retreat to their car to drive off. And as they're retreating, he's just shooting at him. And people are like, well, maybe it was in self-defense. Then it came out, he shot 37 rounds. Who does that? And even if you're trying to unalive someone, that's a ridiculous amount of ammo spent if you're just trying to scare them. So it was so stupid. And then he tried to say, no, they had a gun, but they were pulled out on me first, when the video clearly does not show that. But not only that, he charged after them when they were well on their way. He waits for them to get in the car, and just as they're peeling out to leave peacefully, he starts shooting at them. It's so stupid. Then people are like, well, that's part of the stand your ground laws. They were harassing him. They were on his property. And it's like splitting hairs. It's so dumb. You know. I just don't like violent, irrational people. It gets to me, regardless of skin color. And, you know, people call me effeminate because I don't go to the bar partying with the guys every second, dumping beer on my face and insulting women. There's plenty of guys that can do that. I don't need to join in the party. It's so stupid. Why would I want to do that? I'm a good guy. I would never do it. Even for $1 million, I wouldn't just trash a woman, you know. Anyway, I'm just going off on a tangent. But yeah, you guys, it's crazy out there. Thank you for the 6 likes. I never tell anyone to like the stream. I guess likes do help. I don't know what role they play. I'm still new at this. It's like, what's the case? The black. Oh man, I'm DOA. Should I take another Benadryl? I've had like 7 to 10 of them. My head's like swimming. I'll take a half of one. Stacking the antihistamines. Well, my haters can rejoice. I have a hard life. That sucks. So, mission accomplished. I'm just trying to spread a little joy to you guys' miserable lives too. Any more questions for me? It sucks because I really have to commit to 5 to 10 minute structure, even though whenever I stream, people only come in at the 40-minute mark. They all just rush the heck in here. And you guys have such great contributions. It's hard to not, like, But I have better things to do. I shouldn't just be steered by the views and the likes. I don't want to be like every other narcissist on here, just talking to hear his own voice. But sometimes talking is therapeutic, and I trust God with all the categories of my life. All right, let me finish this, and then we're out of here.
He did a stupid thing. It wasn't just a stupid thing. It was murder.
I watched it with my daughter because I need her to understand that this is what the justice system looks like for black children.
She's so stupid. The mom said, I watched it with my teenage daughter because I wanted to show her, and so she understands. This is what the justice system does to poor black people because of their skin. That's so stupid. He stabbed someone, and we're acting like he got in an accidental fender bender or something. It's so lame. I wonder if it'll kind of reverse itself at a certain point. I wonder if this is going to sound crazy, but I wonder if at a certain point black people will be like, wait a minute. They're just protecting our own. They're just protecting black people. And then they'll get ironically upset over that just because they're looking for an excuse to get upset and wave their arms. But I hate the hotheads that just want to have something to talk about. So they'll just spread misinformation, and they'll do a lot of arm flapping and posturing to make themselves look a certain way. I love honesty in all of its forms. Even if you guys are rough around the edges like me, we all are. I appreciate when you guys speak your mind. I also appreciate when you're courteous and you think before you speak and you have good bedside manner and good questions. So we do this every day. I mostly am famous for my acoustic comedy songs and my regular repertoire. So come to those, because anything you put in chat, I'll make a funny song out of it in your honor as a little fun shout out. So people really seem to enjoy that. What else? That's about all I could think of. I'm going nutty. I'm nuttier than my granny's fruit cake. $33 views. Thank you so much. This time last month, my topical streams got exactly 2 views, and I think they're both from me. Just kidding. I never watch back my content, which I should. That's a flaw. I'm just very humble and giving, but I can also be short-sighted, confused, and have low self-esteem, and that could come out through some things I do. But if I could take a deep breath, I know that I don't have to be perfect in all my pursuits. That's just me being OCD and stupid, So I hope you guys feel the same way about yourselves and don't judge yourselves too harshly, but at the same time, you articulate your accountability with people, and you don't just project. You take responsibility when it's needed. All right, let's finish. Come on, cockoid.
But I have to tell you that in my heart, this is
Or racist.
She is actually crying for murder. That is wild.
my heart breaks. I see my son in this scared kid. This is justice.
He was not scared. He was brazen. He pulled out a knife and plunged in somebody's chest.
Hello, Mallory. How are you, honey?
A scared person takes off running. The pain that you're feeling, I don't know if it's how genuine it is.
I am single,
Just imagine the pain.
but I'm just now meeting you, my dear. Let me pause this thing. Come on, Lord. This is a nightmare. What attributes do you see in me? But no, I got a 3-year relationship. Had to kick the gal out of my place. We were so close for so long, but I don't think I'm still licking my wounds. I think I'm ready to get back out there and start dating again. But yeah, I'm 6'7", so you'd have to like really tall guys. teach aqua size fitness class to old ladies. Not a lot of money, but it's very fulfilling. I don't have any workout certifications beyond my lifeguard stuff and some lower level stuff, but I've traveled everywhere. I've had so many jobs in my life, sometimes not a good thing. I've had a mental health meltdown. I've had to get back on track several times starting over from the car accident. Yeah, it's a wild life. But now I started playing guitar. I stopped for 10 years and I'm bringing back my song repertoire. So far I know 60 songs that I keep in and out of the rotation. I'll play your requests if you guys come to my concert. Well, not concert, they're acoustic hangout streams. And I try to give everyone attention, whether they're giving a song request or staying on topic or not. I give everyone a voice. And it's such a great place. If you guys have tried other places and you just want to chill, place to hang out with zero drama, this is the place to be. Especially in the upcoming weeks, it's going to become undeniably entertaining and good. Somebody bought me $1,000 worth of audio equipment. It gets here tomorrow, so I'm going to put that to good use and make them happy and proud of me. I'm so excited. I've been promising this for 3 whole years, and now I'm getting it. I can't even remember. I can't even think if I even still want it because it's been so long. I know it sounds ridiculous, but I really doubted God, but He delivered at just His own timing. And that's very special because I used to think the older we get, every day is a step in the wrong direction as we're aging in all these different levels all at once. But God can really throw a good curveball your way, and that's what I'm learning. We do Bible studies once a week. It's always an open forum. You guys could say whatever you want in the chat. Usually I get trolled for being gay, quote unquote. They're like, you're wearing a tank top and you're dancing, you're shaking your cute little butt. You're obviously gay. I'm like, what? I just try to spread joy in the ways that I can while I'm still alive. Life is short. You never know when you're going to go. So I do appreciate you guys. Do you make content yourself, Mallory? Or you sound cute. I've never met a Mallory that wasn't attractive. Not like that's the most important thing, but for the record. But yeah, I'm very sweet. I have tons of female friends on here that trust me with all their secrets. I would never go against that in a million years. To a fault, people think I'm gay because I'm always in a big group of women. And sometimes I'll have my female friends on here, just pop in, do little segments and stuff. But yeah. But I do get hit on by a lot of women. I don't see that as a notch on my belt. I just give everyone the respect they give to me. And I never drag anyone along for the ride or get anyone's hopes up just to like put them down. I always make sure I communicate as effectively as I can, even though I'm flawed and some things go over my head, but I try to do the best I possibly can. Come on, Lord. What else? I always make sure I communicate as effectively as I can, even though I'm flawed. Some things go over my head, but test. Do 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 do. And if you guys can help me out, like I'm bad with production and I'm bad with promotion, but I'm great when it comes to creativeness. I can make a comedy song in like 3 seconds that sounds like a song you'd hear on the radio. Or I've got a lot of talents. But I've done reviews, cooking streams. The only thing I haven't done is basketry and basket weaving, but that's coming soon. Yeah, I'm also 44 years old. I know I look like I'm 20. But I have to clear that up because I get a lot of 20-year-old women flirting with me and stuff, which is cool. I've dated in my 40s. I've dated women in their late 20s. That's about as young as I've gotten. I'm not the most mature person in the world, but meanwhile, I use that to my advantage. I'm so full of life and I'm so spunky. I'm different than your normal, boring, dried out, bitter 40-something. I have a certain childlike intensity and enthusiasm people really like and identify with. On the other hand, some people get mad at me because they don't like he's different than me. I'm old, bitter, and married, and he seems to have some spring in his step and he's got some life and he's vivacious and he's friendly. People like him and he's Well, that sounds complimentary, but you know what I mean. But I would never compliment myself. I just go off what others say. Well, sometimes you can't always do that. Most people will cut and paste and troll just to get a reaction. But then they'll just keep doom scrolling and they'll just paste, paste, paste just to get, try to move the needle somehow. And I feel bad for those people. They're so lonely. They don't have anything to cling to. So I try to help them out in word or deed, but I don't have money because I don't work. I'm just trying to tread water and do the best I can in this crazy life. But yeah. All right, guys, I think I'm going to go. Questions, comments, critiques. I'm out of here in 3 minutes. Please subscribe, hit the bell notification, change it to all from personalized. So when I go live in any capacity, you guys are there to cheer me on and be part of the magic as it happens. We're building this pirate ship one brick at a time, and it's been really cool. Good for my little brain. I'm excited to take you guys along on the fun. You guys are going to be blown away. I've got some really neat tricks up my sleeve. My karaoke streams are going to go to #1. They just are. So get on this train while you still can. Now, you know it's going to come to pass because if you've been subscribed for 3 years to me, you know I've never, ever added a positive spin to anything pertaining to who I can be and what I can become and what I have at my disposal. So, yeah. Well, some stuff turned out to be easier. Some turned out to be more intricate and hard than I could imagine. OBS was easier than I thought. I'm like, wow, I put off this for 2 years and I'm kicking myself for it. And the AI is so useful, especially if you're on the spectrum. It can adapt to your personality over time. You can organize your own tabs. You can rename it for ease of access, and you can just pick up the discussion in the little tab boxes. It's so cool. Because learning is so hard for me under any capacity. If it was the 1800s right now, I'd be screwed. Some wagon would be like running me over outside while I'm playing with the wagon wheel, getting splinters in my hands. I don't know if that sounds weird or not. But yeah, I'm glad you guys can relate to me. And see, that's the thing. I don't want people tuning in thinking I'm some superstar. That does me a disservice. I'm just like you guys trying to make a go of it. There's no royalty in here, So, you guys can relate to me. And see, that's the thing. I don't want people tuning in thinking I'm some superstar. That does me a disservice. I'm just like you guys trying to make a go of it. No royalty in here. What else? What else? That's about it. What do you guys think of black people? Black people. But yeah, you can send me an email, Mallory, if you like. I don't really have any on social media right now. I have a Discord account, but not a group Discord that's public. Discord's the devil. But yeah, check my About Me section. Shoot me an email. Tell me a little bit about yourself. If you have a song request, that'd be fun too. I'm forcing everyone to give me a song, their favorite songs. Oh yeah, at least give me your top 3 favorite songs. And I've been doing some country songs, which I would never listen to, but somebody brought to my attention. This is a great melody and chord progression. I'm like, okay, I'll check it out. And it's fun to add these little songs to my set list. But anytime you see me live playing, I never repeat the same song twice unless maybe once a week for the practice or by special request. So check it out, especially, and a lot of new guitar players love my stuff because I could break it down and give lessons and stuff. All right, guys. Please check out my playlist. I work hard on them. Give me your constructive criticism. Say this sucks, and then I'll know it sucks. But I have no way of knowing if my stuff's. But I do have 3 haters that never watch my content, but they live 3 thumbs down on every single video. And I know exactly who they are now. I'm not going to retaliate or anything. I think it's cute. But they think they're pretty slick. Meanwhile, before I pissed them off, I never had maybe 1 or 2 dislikes out of millions of videos I've done, even on other channels. And I don't ask people to give me a like, only if they like it. I don't expect sympathy, views, or likes. if I'm doing something quality and it's undeniable, then I feel the accolades are worth it. But have such low self-esteem, it's so hard, and I have a very tangible and abstract problem. I start a bunch of projects, I don't finish them, and then I can't explain why. I'm going to therapy to kind of sort that out. It's getting better every day. So there's hope. If there's hope for me, there's hope for you guys. I've seen the highest highs and the lowest lows, and I'm here to share that with you guys if I can help in any way I possibly can. God is so gracious. But people from the drama community, they'll come over here and they're like, this is the nicest place to chill. Everyone's amazing, blah, blah, blah. But then when I launch into the topics, they're like, this is boring. I don't want to debate. I don't want to learn anything. I don't want an entertaining stream. And to each their own. I don't judge them for that. But man arrested outside courthouse after the Anthony Karmelo verdict. All right, guys. Peace.